Check, check. What is going on, guys? In this live stream, we're going to be talking about my routine and how I get a car in, process it, tint it, and get her on her way. After that, obviously, we're going to be also doing some Q&A as well. So stay tuned, and we'll be right up. Okay. What's going on, guys, and welcome to Window Tinting Business, where we strive to inform, inspire, and improve you as a professional. As always, my name is Patrick. Now, if you're interested in window tinting as a side job to improve your current skills or as a full-on career, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified whenever we go live or when I update new videos or upload new videos as well. This is our Tuesday night live stream. We do this every Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. Wow. Tonight we're going to be talking about my routine. We're going to be doing a little Q&A afterwards as well. I do apologize about being just a little bit late here. Normally we're right on the button at 9:30. I was getting on board here, and then I noticed that the event was set for this live stream was set for 9:30 on the West Coast. So it was like I went to go check on the waiting room, and it said 3 more hours before we started. I'm like, geez, so I had to flip that on the fly, and then I had some problems with my software, so I do apologize about the late start, but we are getting it all together, All right, before we go ahead and get started, let's go ahead and talk about some sponsors that we do have here, the guys that help make this all possible. So first one, this live stream is sponsored in part by, hold on. Gotta make sure I have the right stuff here. Soak Shield. Soak Shield is the #1 microfiber braided rope. It's an absorbent rope that you put in between the film, between the glass and the front deck, so that you can avoid any water damage or excess water leaking into the front decks of front windshields. And you can also use them for back windows as well. The braided microfiber towel is phenomenal. If you guys haven't tried it yet, this thing, I mean, I don't use a whole lot of water, but still, I just don't even take the chance of ruining any of these electrical components within these cars. But I've seen some of y'all tint, and believe me, y'all need this for sure. I've seen this thing at least hold at least 3/4 to a cup full of water. It's just unbelievable how much this thing holds. So yeah, that's Soak Shield. If you guys don't know about it, make sure to ask your manufacturer, your distributor for it. If they don't have it, bother them till they do get it. If you guys don't know what Soak Shield is and you want some more information, check them out, soakshield.com. They're pretty much awesome. If you don't know, if you ain't in the circle yet, you're behind the ball a little bit. So make sure you get on top of that. Also, next here, in part, this live stream is sponsored by CertifiedTinter.com. CertifiedTinter.com is your premier online training center. This website is going to be launching January 1st in collaboration with myself and Matt from Tint Stuff. We're going to be putting together this website. This website is going to be able to house a library of training videos, but we're also going to be giving access to discounts through our membership, our relationships that we have through other manufacturers and distributors, and we're going to be doing trainings on live trainings and a bunch of really, really awesome stuff. So be prepared for that. January 1st is our tentative launch date. CertifiedTinter.com. Check it out. And lastly, but not least, this live stream is sponsored in part by you guys and through our Super Chats. If you guys don't know what Super Chats are a way that you're able to donate to the live stream or donate to the channel through the chat. And if you guys don't want to donate, that's cool as well. Whatever helps always helps. I mean, whatever you guys want always helps. And as well, let me see here. I always have like our tried and true people that are in here. But if you are participating in the live stream, let me check here. If you're participating in the live stream, it looks like we got about 21 people here. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy to get down into that chat. Before we go and get started, Scud. I'm tearing up names before we even get started. Scud007, what's going on? Matthew Eisenberg, how you doing? Let's see, Jaybird in the house, as always. Rebecca Sandlin. Rebecca, I'll go ahead and get to your question. I definitely want to go ahead and get to that. But we're going to go and knock out the topic first and foremost before we get started. Ray Rangel, what's going on? Soak Shield in the house, as always, as well. Very nice, very nice. Welcome, guys. I'm sure Mike Powell's in the house somewhere here. Don't be shy, Mike. Go ahead and get on that. Go ahead and get on that chat now. Let me see. Let me go and switch over here. I want to make sure I get to the intro with no intro so I don't blow your eardrums out. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the topic at hand, because we are running a little bit behind. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about my routine and what I do in my process. Not really like how to tint windows, but more just my process and how a car and a vehicle will get in, and I'll make sure that it is the proper car. We'll confirm everything, do the car, and get it out. So, and we're just going to go ahead and get started and get into it. So basically, if you're a one-man shop, this works for you. And if if you have like a front desk girl that's going to be helping you out, or guy, whatever, that's going to be helping you out and processing people and answering phones and things of that nature, they can learn this as well. So as the client comes in, first and foremost, depending on which one you do, I've always preferred an appointment over just walk-ins. I've worked with shops where it's just straight walk-ins, and it's a little chaotic, and you don't know how your day is going to go about. With appointments, it's much easier to kind of plan out your day and make sure everything's just a little bit smoother, especially if you know your work frames and your turnaround times. And then if a walk-in comes in, if an opening happens, then you can accommodate them, then go for it at that point. But yeah, if you just do straight walk-ins, your day is always in the air. You don't know if you're going to walk into 12 cars or 2 cars or no cars. So I always like walk-ins. I mean, not walk-ins, appointments. So as the client comes in, first and foremost, I'll greet them. I'll greet them to the shop, and normally I'll have their name, their phone number, their car that they're going to have, and either the film that we've discussed or a note indicating that we're going to have to discuss the different options available to them. So and so comes in. I'll ask them, "Oh, are you John Smith?" There you go. And then it looks like we have an appointment for 9 a.m. And then we have the blah 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 2017 Mercedes C300. So is that the car we're having? Is that the car we're doing today? Yes, good, confirming. Just because first and foremost, you don't want to think that you can do a Mercedes C300 where you think you're going to be burning and turning in an hour and 15, and it's actually like a Beetle that's going to take you 2 hours or 3 hours. So you need to confirm and know what cars are coming in so that you can stay on top of your schedule. Now, once you have confirmed that is the right person, you have the right confirmation and information, contact number if they're going to be leaving, and the proper car, at that point, you're going to confirm what film you guys discussed, if you discussed any films at all. Now, some people choose not to discuss films over the phone because it's easier to present and upsell in person. And others, they can just do it over the phone because they want all the information possible, especially if you're in a mobile situation. So decide if they chose a film. You're going to be working with the film that they're going to be choosing, and you're going to just confirm with them. Like if you had a good, better, best, it looks like we're going to be we had the best option available in this shade. Is that still what we're going for? And then, I mean, that's kind of like a closed-end question, so it does give them an out. But you don't have to just ask. You just tell them, like, all right, so we said the best option here in this shade. Do you have your keys? Can I have your keys, please? And that's kind of pretty much it. Don't give them an option to back out, because you just never want to get into that situation right there. And the spiel, just make sure you have your spiel ready and sharpened up and ready to rock, just in case that they do have questions. One of my worst pet peeves is one of our girls up front are not the strongest in the presentation, which it could be stronger. I think verbatim they're like, well, we have ATC, ATR, CTX, Pinnacle, Stratus. Which one's best for you? That's horrible. That's pretty much how it is. And so the common person, no one knows the difference between ATC. It's a dyed film. If you guys don't know, if you guys aren't familiar with any like Llumar products, they don't know the difference between a dyed film and a ceramic film, or high-end stuff or mid-end stuff. So it's important that you're just giving brief descriptions in regards to which one this is, and you want to kind of break down a price point, and kind of you want to show them what kind of options they have available, what the prices are for that vehicle. And then my thing is I always just inform them that you want to go with the best quality you can get that's within your budget. That's kind of like a really nice way to say it. You want to push them to the highest range, but not not break them. You know, they have to feel confident. You don't want them to have buyer's remorse. So you want them to feel confident they can afford that range that you have. And if it's, you know, if it's your entry level film, then it's your entry level film. You don't want to feel bad or try to upsell too aggressively, because you just, the last thing you do is you don't want them walking out the door. Let me see here. Spiel. I wrote spiel. I can't even read it here. Okay, next thing, now that we know the car, we know what kind of film we're going to be doing, the next thing we do that I like to do is I like to go outside and scan the car for any pre-existing damage. And I'll give a quick once over. Normally, I don't have to do this because I typically work with brand new cars or newer cars. If it's a year or newer, then I usually don't scan them. But just give a quick once over, checking out any damages, any dings, any major scratches. Also on the inside door panels. Always beware too, for the guy that just randomly comes in for a glare strip. Always check the radio. Always check the radio, because that's like an old school scam where like people come in for like a $10 or $20 radio and then claim that you flooded out their deck with water and you broke their radio. I've had it happen to me like at least 2 or 3 times. So double check the radio if they're just coming in for a glare strip. But yeah, just kind of scan for any pre-existing damage. If there is anything, scratches on the front windshield, cracks in the windshield, any existing damage that you think could potentially come back on you, you just want to show the client, inform them of it, so that they don't turn around and be like, oh, that scratch wasn't there, oh, now I need you to pay for it. Like, people are shady sometimes, so you just want to cover this just to make sure that your butt is covered. Mike Powell, welcome. Thank you very much for rolling in here. You're only about 5 or 6 minutes late. No worries, I won't hold you to it. Okay, so now that I know that the car is ready to rock, I'm going to go ahead and roll it into the shop. And, you know, whatever process you do, whether you're pulling it into a single bay, double bay, you're getting 2 tinters on it, 1 tinter on it, whatever it is, go ahead and roll it in. And your standard process would be, you're going to go ahead and turn off the radio, and you're going to turn off the lights. Some lights are automatic. Some you twist them on to stay on the automatic. You just want to twist them to the off mode. Some things like Chevys, you have to literally twist the knob for them to go off automatically. But you want to turn off the lights, turn off the radio, hit the e-brake. Just to let you know, that most automatic cars obviously aren't going to move or anything like that, but just hit the e-brake just to be safe, just to make sure that car is not moving. Obviously, you want to turn the radio off and you want to turn the lights off so you don't drain don't use any unnecessary energy from the battery when the car is going to be on. So those things you definitely want to be off. Now, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and wipe down the back glass and hit it with a dryer sheet. I prefer a dryer sheet. Some people use bars of soap. Some people wet shrink. It really just depends on what you're into and what you want to do in regards to shrinking. But at this point, I would wipe down clean, give it a once over on the back glass, and then go ahead and start putting my dryer sheet. And I want to do that first, one of the very first things, because I need that to dry before I can even start to shrink film. So I start that first to give it time. Now after that, I'm going to go around to the doors and I'm going to determine whether I'm going to be doing a top load or a bottom load. And basically, if I can pull the sweeps, then it's going to be a bottom load. 95% of the time, it's a bottom load. Sometimes it's a top load, and I'm not against either which one. It's just that I need to know which one I'm going to do so I can be efficient with it. If I'm going to be top loading, well, actually, if you're going to be hand cutting, you got to wipe the glass down anyways. So determine if it's a top load or a bottom load. If it's going to be a bottom load, make sure to pull the panel, pull the sweep, do whatever you need to do to prep for the bottom load. And then at that point, I'm going to go ahead and wipe down all the quarter glass and all the outside of the windows that I'm going to be working on, the side windows. And this is just to prevent any like rocks or sand or anything that may be on the glass that I don't want it to scratch or mar the film when I'm working on it and I'm hand cutting it. So that's very important that you're going to wipe down and clean it as well. Let me see here. Now the process here, once I have the car in, the car is off, I have the side windows cleaned. I'm going to hand cut the side windows. I'm going to shrink the back window. I got dryer sheet on the back window. One of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start working on the back window. Now I work on the back window first, and then once I shrink the back window, I install the back window. At that point, I'll move over to the quarters and I'll get those quarters knocked out. At that point, what I'll do is then I'll turn the car on, make sure the radio's off, make sure the lights are off, and I'm going to start working on the doors. And I do this last after I do the quarters, because at this point, you're going to be tinting all 4 doors in a row. What some people do is they'll do the back glass and start working on the doors. The problem is that you can, you'll work on a door, a roll up. You work on the back door with a roll up, and then you can spend time on that quarter. Well, that time on that quarter is just, the car is just on. You know, whether it's a new car, or typically it's right around, if the car is about 5 years old, or every 5 years, because 3 to 5 years is the like the lifespan of a battery. So if the car is about that old, 5 years or 10 years old, you do start running the risk of the longer that car is on without actually being turned on, it's just the electrics are on, you could drain the battery. So you want to work as efficiently as possible, and if you're not working on the quarters, obviously just working on all the 4 roll-ups, it's going to be the shortest amount of time that battery is on, minimizing the risk of killing the battery. And if you kill the battery, you kill the battery. There are some people online that are like, no, you have to be professional and you can't jump a battery, you can kill it, blah, blah, blah. Just positive to positive, negative to negative, and jump that bad boy. If you can't jump start a battery, you should not be tinting probably. You should go back to McDonald's. That's probably it. So yeah. So you're going to tint the back window first, quarters, and then side doors. The reason why you don't, that is in that particular order. The reason why you don't do sides first, then turn off the car, and then do quarters and back window, is that when you're working on the sides, hand cutting, installing, putting it in, you start building up water on each and every single door. So by the time you get to the last door, most likely your feet are wet, the shop floor is a little bit more wet than it was before, and now you're starting to work on the back window, so that when you shrink it, you cut it, you wet it, you clean, you're about to install, you Frankenstein in, and now you got you have wet feet going into the car, you know, unless you want to like drop a towel down, which I still typically drop a towel down, but it's just best to do the back window first, so that you can avoid those wet and possibly dirty feet getting into the car, because then as your feet are in, they could bump the center console, they could bump the back seat, they could bump the floor, and then there's just extra stuff you might have to clean, especially if the interior is like a cream color. You want to kind of avoid that. Now that's the steps that I do in regards to a regular standard car, 4-door car. Now, the only time I would change this is if it's a convertible. And I'll do this real quickly, and I'll just explain it real quickly. Convertibles, top down, windows up. I'll do the quarter windows first, and then I'm going to go ahead and roll up, put the top back up. Actually, I'll do the quarter windows first, hand cut the side doors, shrink the side doors, move the film, put the whole top up, install the front doors, and then do the back door. And now I'm going to explain why I do each one. Top down, and we're going to do the quarters first. Now, when you put the top back up, most cars and most convertibles, all the windows are going to go all the way down, right? So you don't want to do the front windows, because if it's not laid down correctly, when you put the top up, you could rip off all the film. So you do the back quarters first, right? You're going to do the back quarters first. Cut them out, shrink them, clean them, install them. Now, before you go on to the next step, you're going to go on to the front doors, where you're going to hand cut them and shrink them, one side then the other. While you're doing that, you're giving time for the quarters to dry out a little bit more before you put the top up and those back quarters go down. If they go down and they get ripped off, it's just a little quarter window. It doesn't take very much time to redo them. Not as much time as a side door, or a front door, excuse me, a bigger front door. So after you hand cut, shrink the front doors, you want to move that film off, put it on a peel board to get it off the way, put it on the front dash, whatever you need to do, just get it out of the way and off that glass. And then at that point, you're going to go ahead and put the top all the way up, because at that point, all the doors are going to most likely go down, and you don't want to rip off any glass, of course. Now at that point, the top is all the way up, and the quarters are up, the front doors are up. Now you have the front doors cut and shrunk already, so now at this point, you're going to install the front doors for this. And then once that's done, now you have the quarters done and the front doors done. Now you start working on the back door, the back window, excuse me. And the back window might not take you that long, might take you maybe 20, 30 minutes or so. But that time frame that you're working on that back door, the front doors are drying and that bottom edge is drying. You don't want to do the front doors last, because core convertibles, when you pop the door latch, they go down like a quarter of an inch or a half an inch. And if you do that right after you tint, now you got to wait for those windows to dry anyways. So do those front windows first, then do the back window. And then by the time you're done with the back window, that gives about 20 to 30 minutes for the front windows to dry. And you got to pretty much just give it a quick once over on that, and you're good to go on that. That is the only time that I kind of changed the process with the order and how I tint windows. Now once you have tinted all the sides and the back, what you really want to do is give everything a good nice double check. You're going to be checking the fronts, right in the centers, especially if you top load like the center and on the sides, just to make sure there wasn't any creases over there, any fingers that may have popped back up, anything that maybe just had a little bit too much moisture at the time when you were working on it, and you kind of come back on that one. And at this point as well, you're pretty much done with the installation, so you're going to go over and clean the glass. That's very important. What I can't stand and I can't hate is when people get into tinting cars and they do this beautiful job of installing this phenomenal film. They don't have any trash. It's clean. It's gorgeous, and they don't like wipe down the windows. It smudges. It's got water stains. It's got, it's all this. It doesn't look great. It's like, ugh. You did so good until that part. So make sure you clean the windows. I'll use 2 separate towels, or if I use one towel, I'll use a clean towel and wipe down the inside where the film is first, and then I'll make sure to use a window glass cleaner, a tint safe window glass cleaner, of course. And I'll do the inside first, and then I'll go to the outside. I don't want to go to the outside and then come to the inside, because my towel could get dirty. It could get sand. It could get little particles in it. Because I'm going on actual glass, and then when I go to the inside to clean, I could mar or scratch the film because there's stuff on the towel. So if you end up going on the outside first, just make sure to get a fresh towel for the inside, or just start from the inside and then finish on the outside. That way your towel is nice and clean. By the way, we're doing some catching up on some time here, which is nice. Let me see. After double check to clean the windows, make sure obviously use a microfiber towel, a lint-free microfiber towel, and some glass cleaner. At this point, I have some instructions that I leave on the deck. It's like a 5-inch by 8-inch sheet. It's kind of like a pamphlet, really. It basically tells everything. It tells the client and explains to the client everything to expect over the next 30 days. I'll go over the spiel with them as well. But that's just something for them, like after I talk to them, because they get bombarded. Like their car comes in, it looks beautiful, they got to pay out money. I give them the spiel afterwards, and then it's like, well, so it kind of helps remind them. If you guys don't have those, invest in those. Those are nice. They make just the little touches that really make you look professional. Also, I'll put tape on the doors. I have like the do not roll down stickers. If you guys don't have that, just don't use duct tape, because you don't want to have the adhesive come off and stay on the car door. But painter's tape, blue painter's tape, and maybe blue painter's tape, and then like put the date that's like 3 days from then, so that they know when to roll it down. Or just be professional and get a roll of do not roll down stickers. They cost 3 cents each. It's like $35 for like 3,000 of them or something. They're stupid cheap. So just get the roll down stickers and be professional. And then lastly too, I'll put a fresh floor mat down. I'll put a floor mat down at the very beginning. That's probably something I forgot to mention. I'll put a floor mat down in the driver's seat when I first start, and then I'll probably rip that out and put a fresh one in at the very end as I'm rolling up the car. At this point, I'm almost done. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to roll the car up to the front. Now, at this point, I'm going to be outside, right? So I'm going to be presenting the car outside. So as I roll the car up to the front in the parking spot at the front of the shop, I'll get out of the car and I'll do another walk around. And I do this for a couple of reasons. One, because the light is better outside versus inside. Usually you have like incandescent light or lights from like overhead from like the lights, whatever. I forget the words. Neon lights? No, it's not neon lights. It's not Vegas. I forget what they are. The T8s, you know what I mean. The long tube lights. I forget. I'm forgetting what they're called. It don't matter. It's just easier to see outside in the sun. I do that just because there are some times that you don't see things that you see things outside that you may have missed that were inside. So just do another once over. Plus, it's really good, especially if the client's in there, that they see you come out and do a once over on the car. They visually see you do that. And obviously, as a tinter, you could take some time to sit there and talk about that, you know, at the very beginning, at the very end. Take like 2 minutes to talk to them. This could, from time to time, draw out a tip. Just to let you guys know, it's not uncommon for me to get $20, $30 tips, just because I'm taking care of their baby. You know, if they're spending $500, $600 on a car to get their car tinted, you know, 20, 30 bucks, especially if I'm taking good care of their baby, is not that much for them. Going over the care instructions, I'll make sure to hand personally, don't forget this part, because there are so many cars that are automatic start where you don't even have to take the key out of your pocket. You just get in and start the car. Most important is make sure to personally and physically hand the key to the client. Do not forget that part, because I've left it on the front dash, I've left it on the glass, on the front windshield, or left it on top of the car, and they drive off and it gets run over, and these key fobs are like $300 to $500. They're not cheap. So make sure to personally and physically hand the keys to them. Or another worse option is that you forget and you keep it in your pouch, and they drive off because the car's running or the car's on, and because you were close by, and then they get home and they can't start the car because you have the key. So make sure to give them the key. And then obviously we're going to be talking about paperwork. Any warranties, make sure you fill out the warranty work and paperwork, because it's for you as well, for the manufacturer. You have to have run numbers, VIN numbers, usually the last 8 on the VIN, the proper receipts, and all the proper information. Whatever your manufacturer requests for you to have warranties processed, make sure you have that, because then they feel good. The customer feels good knowing that you're doing your due diligence and you're going to get taken care of. And they know that if I don't, call the manufacturer of the film and they will find you another tinter that will take care of you and validate the warranty. So make sure to cover all the warranty stuff. And lastly, make sure to go over some care instructions. And this is my absolute verbatim care instructions to go here for you. Let's see here. I'll go ahead and hand them the key. And I will say something like, just make sure to keep your windows up for the next 3 to 5 days. I did put some instructions on the deck. It's going to explain what to expect over the next 30 days. But just to let you know, some haziness and some moisture pockets are common, just part of the bonding process. That's why we tell you to keep the windows up for 3 to 5 days so that you don't disturb that process. I also locked the windows and put a sticker over the driver's side to prevent you guys from rolling it down. That's very important. And just make sure to hold on to your warranty work. Either keep it in the safe at home or keep it in the glove box so you always have it, just in the event that either the film fails or that you need to process a warranty. That's pretty much my verbatim speech to them. Really quick, simple, and to the point. One important thing, notice that I don't say moisture bubbles. I never use the word bubble. Never, ever, ever, ever. I use say moisture pockets. I say haziness and moisture pockets. Because the second you say moisture bubble, all the person hears is bubble, and everyone that's not a tinter, when they think bubble, they think air bubble, and the bubbles are bad, right? Obviously you don't want that, but moisture pockets is part of the process. So say moisture pockets, not air bubble or water bubbles, and it makes it sound so much better. And then of course, obviously ask them, and thank them for their business, shake their hand, be polite, and let them also know that a lot of your business is based on referrals. So hand them a couple business cards. Don't go crazy and hand them 15 business cards and try to recruit them. Just be like, here's a couple business cards. If you know anyone that could use my service, I'd appreciate it. A lot of our advertising, a lot of our business is through referrals as well. That might not be true. You might dump $1,000 a month in advertising. Who knows? But if the client likes you, you took care of them, and they believe that a lot of your business is for referrals, and it takes about 3 seconds, and it costs you, what, 15 cents in business cards, maybe. It's a good way to go ahead and possibly get more business. You're always trying to drum up more business. Be nice, be polite, and if you could get an email address out of them somehow, some way, that's always good too, because you can either an email address or tell them to like your Facebook page and grow a following on your Facebook page, and then that way, when you're giving away specials or they like your Facebook page, and maybe that you're giving a discount for window tint, on a special day, and they're like, well, I don't need it, but I know someone who could use it. You know, don't. What I cannot stand is don't collect likes just to collect likes. I know a shop that will give you half off if you glare strip or sun strip or eyebrow, whatever you call it, half off if you go on like our Facebook page. Well, that's fine. That's good. But then they don't do anything with that. They don't do any digital marketing. They just have a lot of people that like their page. That's pretty much it. Like if you don't do anything with it, then it's kind of pointless, right? So just make sure that is that. And that's, I mean, that's pretty much the process that I go from start to finish. And I send them on their way and I smile nice and kind. And if you get tipped too, even if I've been tipped as the owner. I've been tipped like in my own side jobs. I'll go and do mobile jobs, and they know it's my business, that I'm doing it for me, and I'll still get tipped on that. So I mean, don't be afraid of that either. You can still take care of that. You can get that. But that's pretty much it here. That is the spiel. Hope that wasn't too bad. I'm working on some other stuff as well. And if you guys are just noticing too, I was able to go ahead and get the community tab on the YouTube channel. Usually they don't give the community tab to channels until they reach 10,000 subscribers. So I don't know, maybe we got lucky, maybe because we get a lot of views, maybe I don't know. We got lucky. So for those of you guys that are watching that are not part of Facebook or not part of the Facebook group Window Tinting Business, you can just go to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Now do keep in mind that there's two kinds of bell notifications. There's the straight bell, and then there's a bell with like lines around it. The bell with lines around it means that you're going to get notified every time, even my community posts, whenever I go live, anytime. But if there's the bell with no lines around it, around the top, then you'll just get occasional notifications. Some of you guys were asking me that, like, oh, I hit the bell, but I don't get you all the time. Well, that's why, because you hit the bell, but you're only getting occasionals. You have to hit the bell so you get all the notifications. Just wanted to clarify that for you as well. All right, finishing up the topic, let's go ahead and check in here real quickly. We got about 24 people in here. Very nice, very nice. 25 people. I think that's me, actually. For those of you guys that are in here, now we have reached the point where we are going to go ahead and get into our Q&A section. At this point, feel free to go ahead and dive in, get on those keyboards, whatever you guys have. I'm going to switch it over here. And we're ready to rock. Let me go ahead. I did see a question at the very beginning. Rebecca Sandlin here. She says, shoot me some damn tips on newer Volkswagen. We handle dealer accounts here in Georgia, and these dang Passat rear windows are ridiculous. Yeah, they're pretty much ridiculous. Any tips? With those windows, you have to be really good with the auto bulldozer, and with two hands, because the deck is so far lower. You got 5 or 6 inches. The deck is so far lower than where you can see or your fingers can reach. It's very important that you're efficient with that. Also, the reach tool from Tri-Edge, I hear that's really good. Or a black and white is like a tiny, really thin squeegee. That's also available. But if you use the auto bulldozer and you're holding the handle, but I use my second hand. If I'm going to be going to the left, obviously, I'm going to hold the left side. And as I go in, I'm going to go in to the bottom, and I don't squeegee straight in ever, right? So if the auto bulldozer is flat like this, right? And here's this bottom edge is the bottom of the seal, right? You don't push down because there's only one way to get it out, back up, right? When you pull it back up, you could pull this film right here. So what you do is you just drop a corner in, just like that, just like this, and then you move it sideways. That way, when you're squeegee, when you're done, you just kind of slide it out, and you're gonna minimize pulling out any film that's stuck there. Don't ever just shove your bulldozer down there. And if you do, make sure to shimmy it to the side. Don't pull it straight back out. Shimmy it to the side to pull it out, or else you could pull that film out. That's like really nervous stuff. The back windows, that's pretty much it. If you're hand cutting, just make sure to give 1/8 of an inch all the way around. That way you give a little bit of room, a wiggle room, and make sure you cover the bottom. And just tack it down really well. Make sure I get the middle tack up the top end, and then go down as far as I can, and then I'll go get the auto bulldozer and get the very, very bottoms, the ones I can't reach with my regular squeegee, handled squeegee. So that is that as well. 20 people already. Yep, Jaybird, what's going on? Matt, tint stuff. Mike Powell in the house. Yep, you got me. Does anybody wash whole car if dirty? Answer is no. No. I just clean side windows, whatever I need to clean to install the windows. I'm not a car wash. So if a car comes in filthy dirty, I ain't washing that car. I'm gonna wash the windows, and that's it. When that car rolls out, that thing is still going to be filthy, except for them windows. Them windows are going to be on point. But that whole car is still going to be nasty, just to let y'all know. I hate it. Or like the worst part is like when like people get their front windshields tinted, but their whole deck hasn't been wiped off or cleaned in a year. There's just like a thick nasty, and you got to wipe that all off, because if you're doing front windshields, you got to clean that part off, or else you're going to end up getting trash in your install for sure. For sure. Is rubbing alcohol good to remove window film glue? It would definitely break down the adhesive, but I don't know if it would break it down so much it'd be like super sticky. But what is it? Hold on, I got something. No, I don't want to stand up. But there's a lot of good removers out there. But you can also use just a regular degreaser. But let me see here. Hold on. What happens when you're on the computer? Let me see here. Filmslingers.com is currently unavailable. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Give me one more second here. Trying to find okay, boom. All right, so this is the Fusion Epic Orange. This is a specific adhesive remover. This is designed to remove adhesive, and you can get this at 44tools.com is where I pulled it up here, but you can also get it at filmslingers.com whenever their website is back up and running. I don't know what's going on with that, Robert. But yeah, Fusion Epic Orange is a really great product. It just got released just this year, and it is specifically designed to be able to remove adhesive, so make sure to check that out. Whoever had that question, let me pull it back up, see who we got. Vic P. Roger Franco asked, he says, late to the party, what's the topic for today? We were talking about my routine from start to finish, from when the car comes in, what I do, how do I process it, and how do I get it in and out, essentially. Not too bad of a topic. I don't think it was too bad. Yeah. I give it like a 7.5. 7.5 for sure. Finally found a shop to lease and will be opening December. Super nervous as I'm not the best tinter yet, but I figured I'll have to get better to survive. Sink or swim deal. Any tips for new shop? Wow. That is like, bro, I hope you got capital, my friend. I hope you got cash. Especially if you're just learning. It's going to take you time to really get your feet wet, and you don't, as if you're opening up a shop. Don't forget, we talked about quality versus quantity in, I believe it was our last live stream. Is quantity first when you're learning, then quality when you learned and you're starting to grow a career, and then quality and quantity when you're trying to bang it out and be the best out there. Opening up a shop before you know how to tint might be one of those things where you're trying to do quality versus quantity. It could come in and bite you in the ass. I'm just saying. And because if it takes you 6 months to perfect your work, that's 6 months of clients that you're gonna pretty much never get back, and then they're gonna tell all their friends about the shit tint shop that did their work. So maybe an option is that you hire a tinter that knows what they're doing, so that you own the shop, right? But hire a tinter that knows what they're doing so that you can still crank out quality work. You can learn from that tinter until your chops get a little sharper, a little bit better, just to let you know. Secondly, I would not open up a shop in December. Reason being, if like you have to and there's no other choice, you have to get in there, then it is what it is. You got to get in there at that time. If you're going to lose the spot, then that is what it is. I would always shoot for February, or at least after the first of the year. If you open up in December, you're going to have to file taxes for that month of December in the year 2018 as well. So you got to file taxes and get all that stuff 1 month after you process and open and whatnot. And then you're going to have to remember that for 2019 taxes as well. On top of that, most of the time, unless you're an established shop or you got cheddar to blow on advertising, and I'm talking deep pockets, you're not going to be busy until mid-February. No, probably not mid-February. Sometime between mid-February and mid-March is where the busy season essentially starts, because that's when everyone gets their money back from tax returns. So you need to get your chops up at least by then, because you're going to leave a lot of money on the table. If you can only tint 2 cars a day, and you could potentially get 5, if you have 2 tinters that know what they're doing, you can get 8 to 10 cars in a day. That's a lot of cheddar you're leaving on the table. So just some things to keep in mind before you go. I want you to succeed, don't get me wrong, but you got to set yourself up. You got to set yourself up smartly. Good luck, my friend. How do you not pinch sides when you have to top load, cut tint right on truck and fold? I'm assuming you're talking when you're top loading. What you want to do, those little pinches you get usually in the mid or lower, is because it's exactly that. You're top loading and you're putting so much tack down already. What I would suggest is you tacked out 1 swipe and maybe another swipe, and then that's it. That's it. Leave some space, because you're tacking down too low, so that when you have to tuck the bottom portion, there's not enough wiggle room for that film to move, so it just ends up creasing. Try just doing 2 swipes at the very top, and then rolling the whole window up, and then feeding those corners in, and then the bottom in, and you'll reduce the risk of getting those pinches on the sides. That's a normal tell for that. And if you do end up doing that, just heat it up with a little bit of your heat gun, and use a little crusher, a little pink card, and just rub it out. Not too bad. It's common, but the greats can do it without it, and it takes a little bit of time. You're gonna take time. It's time no matter what. I don't care who you are. It's time no matter what. You take a little bit of time to prep it and do it right, so you don't get the creases, or you're gonna take a little bit of time to heat it up and get those creases out. It's one of the two. You're gonna end up doing it. So. Okay. Filmslingers.com is updating products. Okay, that's why. So a bunch of new good stuff coming. So if you guys haven't been on filmslingers.com in a while, shame on you, number 1. And number 2, get on there soon, because they're gonna have some new fun stuff apparently. I like that. Hate windshields with bugs too. Oh, bugs. Yeah, no. Yeah, and I don't even clean a lot. Like if there's sand and stuff on the back window or the front windshield, then obviously I like to give it a good wipe down. But I don't even use a hard card when I shrink anymore. I'll use a Mac Tack, because Mac Tacks are so much more forgiving. With a hard card, if I'm pushing on a hard card, if I catch just a little bit of sand, I could tear that film. and it's just a huge pain in the butt. I got to start all over. But with a Mac Tack, it's just so much more forgiving. I can just lay it over and I run over a piece of sand or whatnot, and it's just fine, totally fine, because it's not going to get in my install. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Epic Orange, similar to Orange Peel. I don't know. Let's Orange Peel. Orange Peel Adhesive Remover. Orange Peel Window Tint Adhesive Remover. Orange Peel looks like a Goo Gone type of thing. That I guess it could work. That's more, yeah, it's I mean, it's still an adhesive remover, so I don't see why it wouldn't work. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't work. But the Epic Orange is specifically designed for window tint adhesive removal. Like, that's what it's designed for, made for. So yeah, I mean, I would just use that if that's what it is. But work with both, see what happens. Wish you the best, Tropical. Yes, of course. Mike Powell says, I'm moving to Florida. I wish, buddy. I wish, because we'd crush it. We'd crush it down here. For those of you guys that don't know, Mike Powell is a buddy of mine, and he's a phenomenal guy. He's got a beard down to his nuts, and he's just hilarious. And he's just a really good guy. Tint stuff in the house. What's going on, Matt? What is going on? YouTube has stories now? Oh, yeah, I did kind of notice that, but I didn't. I don't think I have stories of it. I just got the community tab. Yeah, I don't have stories yet. When I get 30,000 subscribers, yeah, then maybe they'll give me stories. But this poor little guy, I'm just trying to get to 10,000, my friend. Just trying to get to 10,000, 10K. For those of you guys that don't know, I need to be like the window tinting YouTube god. Me and Matt, we just need like 250,000 subscribers, and I'd be really happy. Pink Dolphins. Patrick, did you try approaching a school that teaches automotive classes? Because you can get a job teaching people how to tint, how tinting is done. People have suggested that. Unfortunately, they can't pay me enough. It's just you know, as a window tinter, average window tinter can make anywhere between roughly around like just a little over 50 grand a year. I do much better than that myself. So to teach a class, I would have to actually take a pay cut, you know. So I can't do that just because I'm the breadwinner of my family, and I have to do things very particularly. Also, because I am starting CertifiedTinter.com with Matt, by the way. We are going to be doing stuff like that where we're going to have the library up and available, and eventually the idea is that we're going to be doing those classes and in those training videos, but then eventually what we are going to do is have an on-site, on-location live training course as well, but that's after we get a little traction going and whatnot. So I hope that answers your question. Tropical Shade Tinting. At the moment, I'll be okay if I just do 6 to 8 cars a week. Yeah, that's good. 6 to 8 cars a week is good. We'll also give the practice I need to be more ready for February or March. Have money to make it for a while. Was thinking about hiring someone in March. What I would say is yeah, that's good. I would say that 6 to 8 cars a week. 6 to 8 cars a week is good. Take your time and just do it one at a time. Like I said, my first car I did took me, I know you guys all know, for those of you guys that watch all the time, I'm sure Jaybird knows, the first car I did took me 6.5 hours. So just take your time, make sure it's done right, go slow, and 6 to 8 weeks, practice needed to be more. Are you Tropical Shade Tinting, are you guys doing hand cutting or using a plotter? Let me know. Before you hire someone, what I would think, if you're hand cutting, get a plotter then. Get a plotter first, because then you can speed up your time a little bit faster, and a plotter only costs you the cost of a plotter. Hiring another person does take a little bit more money and takes a little bit out of the pie for you as well. And you have to get enough, especially starting up a shop, you need enough capital to keep you going. And all I can say is you're going to have some really good months, especially from March through the summer, up until September or October. Probably the very beginning of October will start to die down. You're going to get some really good money, but to make sure you put your nuts away for the winter, my friend, because it's going to be, hey, that's where people fail, is that they get all the good cheddar during the summer and then they go blow it all and then they don't have any money to survive the winter. Make sure you hold on to that. Oh, dang, look at this. Tropical Shade Tinting with the $20 donation. Definitely appreciate that, brother. Super chats in the house. I like that. I like that. Thank you very much, my friend. Beautiful. Plotter and hand cut. I like that. Patrick got Jaybird on Fusion Slip. Ooh, Jaybird on that Fusion Slip. What is going on? I hope you like that Fusion Slip. Not going to lie. I still got to get on that. I probably should get on that. I use a ridiculous amount of J&J, like ridiculous amount. But I also work in Florida, which is hotter. Plus, I use Llumar, which some people have told me is a more tacky film. So, but I should probably give it a shot because I only use J&J. Kind of a snob. Not a snob. More like in certain things I'm set in my ways. Most of the time, I feel like I'm like a loose goose. Like I kind of change it up whenever. But yeah, but yeah. Oh, again, Tropical Shade Tinting, thank you very much for that $20 donation. That is really awesome. Definitely appreciate it. And as always, feel free. You know, we're doing this once a week, so feel free if you have any questions. It's a good time to reach me and knock it out here. So let's see here. Whoa, Mike Powell with the $20 donation. What is going on, y'all? Mike, stop doing that, Mike. Thank you very much, Mike. Very awesome. Very much appreciated. Assalamu alaikum. Fusion Slip today. Good stuff. Matt likes it too. Fusion. It likes it too. Fusion. To Fusion. Oh, I just tore that up. Good. Jaybird, I'm really glad you like the Fusion Slip. It is good stuff. For those of you guys that don't know what they're talking about, let's look up a little Fusion Slip here. Just so many good things from Fusion Tools. Oh, the worst friend in the world. Okay, so this is the Fusion website here, and let's see if we can find their slip. Oh, there it is. Come on. Okay, I guess it doesn't work like that. Let's see. Talk to us. Come on, just give me a picture of Fusion Slip. Hopefully you guys can see this. That's the Fusion All Type is their slip solution, guys, if you guys don't know, right? There, right there. Right there. So Fusion All Type is their installation slip solution. It's a mixture that they use for, you know, that's what you use to put into your water, to put in your soaps, so that your film doesn't tack automatically. For those of you guys that don't know what we're talking about, because I don't want to keep you guys in the dark, Fusion All Type is the installation solution that we're talking about. If you guys haven't tried it, check it out. Most manufacturers, like most window film manufacturers or tint places, have it. By the way, that tool is really awesome. It's called like the Slammer or something like that. I think it's the Slammer. It's awesome. You can also get all these over at filmslingers.com as well whenever they get their website up. Uh-oh. Don't need that. Boom. There we go. Okay, here. All right, guys, keep rolling in the questions. We're not done yet. Come on now. We still, how many people are watching here? Look, we got 24 people still in here. For those of you guys, I know y'all got questions. Let's bring it in here, guys. Come on now. Best program to use for a plotter, most beneficial for a small one-man band type shop. I do, I use Precision Cut with Llumar right now. It's a pretty good program. I've also used film and vinyl design. I forget. Film and vinyl design. It's a really good one too. And and it's more affordable, I guess you can say. Actually, I've never paid for either one software, so I shouldn't say more affordable. It's always someone else paying for it. But a plotter pays for itself because you could just get more. You get more out of it. So I mean, it cuts my time down. Plus, you're not putting blades on the car, which could minimize cutting the weather strips. It could cutting the glass, and it just takes it's so much quicker. Like, I don't know about y'all, but cutting a back window out with a plotter takes take maybe 30 seconds, and then hand cutting it, you got to get a light back there. You got to run around. You know how it goes. It takes longer than 30 seconds. Get a plotter. It's so much faster. So much faster. Matt agrees. He likes the Fusion tint stuff. Yep. Fusion all type. He likes it. He likes it. Stamp of approval. Everyone get it. Everyone get it. All right. Just a little. I tried the Fusion slip and couldn't get the hang of it for bottom loading. Just too tacky for me. Sticking with my tint tack slip. That works. But like any other slip solution, the main ingredient is slip, right? So if it's tacking on you, then you maybe just gotta throw a little bit more in there, baby. Throw a little bit more in there. I'm not shy at all. I literally use for every I think every 32 ounces, I'm using like 8 ounces of, no, it's not 8 ounces. Every gallon of water, which is 64 ounces, I'm using 8 ounces of Johnson's Bezier shampoo. A lot of slip. A lot of slip. So don't be shy. It's all right. Don't be shy. My opinion on trimming the sides on quarter windows. You know what? I have my dude that works with me in the shop. He'll trim quarter windows. I don't like doing it. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'll take my blade and I'll extend it out on my on my red dot. I'll extend it out and I'll get it flat against the glass and I'll run it between the glass and underneath the rubber, and try to loosen it up so I can get some film underneath there. I know guys that trim it. It doesn't look that bad. If the car is 10 years old, and they're getting like entry-level film and they just want to get the car tinted so they can smoke pot in their car, no one sees them, then maybe I'll trim the sides. Who cares at that point, right? But like if it's like a really nice car, like let's say it's a Mercedes, a BMW, and it's like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 and it's a brand new car and they're getting ceramic, I'm not trimming that car. Because that dude is gonna notice, or chick, whoever. They're gonna notice. You know what I mean? So just be selective in what you do and when you do it, because there's a time and a place for everything. Everything. Tropical Shade Tinting, I just wanted to say how helpful you have been and how much I enjoy and learning from your live streams as well as instructional videos. I've become a better tinder because of it. Thank you, brother. Oh, God. Look, I got chills. Look, I got chills. That's why I do this stuff, y'all. I do this stuff because I do really, truly enjoy helping people. So, Tropical Shade Tinting, assalamu alaikum. I hope you kick some serious butt, my friend, and just crush it. And let me know. Send pictures. Do whatever. Let me know. I'd love to see it. Hopefully, maybe I'll stop by your shop. Who knows? Who knows? I got a friend in Georgia. Mike's in Georgia. So maybe I can go over and stop by and see you whenever I go and stop and see him. But thank you. That's very kind. Thank you for the kind words. Do you remove spoilers from new Civic hatchbacks? Yes, I do. I've never actually done it before. I have a great video that I've saved, and it's on YouTube too. That I've saved. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see here. YouTube.com. YouTube.com. Okay, so this is not my actual YouTube account, so just to let you know, notice that it says sign in. We're not signing into my account. But let's see, Civic hatchback spoiler removal. Let's see if this is the video. There's one video out there that's fun. This guy right here, Raul Romo, a year ago, 11K. this video is phenomenal. This video is going to tell you step by step how to remove it. I'll be honest with you, I was watching this video and I'm like, oh, you know, if I had a hatchback, if I saw more hatchbacks, I probably would do a hatchback removal video, but I don't see that many that I don't have enough time to do it. But this will tell you exactly. This video is awesome. This is the exact video I use so that when a Civic hatchback does come in, this explains every little bit on how to remove that puppy. I've tried shrinking hatchbacks with the spoiler on. It's a big pain in the butt. Just remove it. It literally takes 10 minutes, and this guy shows you how to do it. How to remove rear spoiler on a 2017 Honda Civic hatchback for tinting. Raul, yeah. Raul Romo. This guy's solid. Solid. Thumbs up on him. Let's go back here. Mike Powell, hell no. 2.5 to 3 ounces of fusion for 3 to 4 gallons. Yeah, I use so Mike Powell is using 2.5 to 3 ounces of fusion all type to 3 to 4 gallons of water. What I put 2.5 gallons of water in my 5-gallon tank, and I use a third of a 24-ounce bottle. That's 8 ounces. It's a lot. That's a lot. It's like 3 something ounces per. Yeah, it's a lot. Anyways. Let's see here. I added more, didn't change. I asked on the pages and got yelled at for adding too much because less is more. I'll tell you what, okay? I have unsubscribed or unfollowed the majority of the groups, okay? There are some groups out there that it's the wild freaking west, bro. You go out there and you say one little thing and everyone thinks they're the tint god and that you are stupid for asking any question whatsoever. If you guys want a group that you're not going to feel stupid at, come to my group, Window Tinting Business. I don't say it because I run it. I say it because I run it. And then what I mean is that when I got people that are doing some crazy stuff, I boot them out. Like, I don't even deal with that stuff. I'm here about growing, improving, and no questions dumb. I don't care if you're tinting for 1 day or 1 year, 10 years. It doesn't 1 decade. I don't care. You know what I mean? We're all here to learn and help and grow with each other. These old cats or these cats that just like, because you know why they say stuff like that? Because they're afraid, because they can't do anything else with their lives besides tint windows. You know, it's either tint windows or Walmart greeter. So they don't want more tinters out there, because then once people figure out that to become a successful window tinter, all you have to do is, you don't even have to be a good tinter. You could be an okay tinter. All you have to do is show up, do your work, don't be drama, don't steal from them, you know, and even if you do drugs or do your, you know, drink or whatever, just don't bring it into the shop. And right there you can make 50 grand a year. You know, and if you do a little extra like inventory management or help them grow the business or grow the shop, you can make 70, 80, 90,000 a year. So don't get knocked down by these guys that are in the groups. They're like, oh, I've got 10 years experience. Listen, I've been tinting for a little over 3 years, and I can pretty much sweep the floor with most of them. I don't care who says it. You can tell them I said it. Just because it doesn't care. It doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Because they're worried about them and no one else, and I'm not like that, and it pisses me off. As you can see, like, I'm starting to get heated about that. It pisses me off when people do that stuff. So be wary about the groups and window tinting. You know, for me, you know, I use a lot of soap and a lot of slip, and I don't care who knows it. I don't care, because I do what I need to do to get the job done. Bottom line. There's no one way to do something. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, and that phrase is no more true than in window tinting. That's why I love to watch other tinters do their job, because they might do something a little bit different than the way I do it. So then, like, I learned a different way. So if I know how to bottom load this way, and then I know how to bottom load that way, and then maybe I do this trick and I do that trick. Now I have 1,000 tools in my box that I can tackle this window, and I know how. I'm just improving myself. So don't get too down to the dumps about dummies that think they're the God's gift to tinting, because their lives are sad probably. Do you charge the small on the sedans? Do you charge more on BMWs or Mercedes, according to Mercedes, the Accords and Camrys? Yes, a 4-door is a 4-door is a 4-door. You know, sometimes, because you can't charge more for more expensive cars and charge less for less expensive cars, because it's not the car, it's the film you're putting it on. I've seen guys get 120,000. Excuse me. I've seen guys get $120,000 S-Class Mercedes and get ATC, like $150 bottom barrel, like the most affordable film Llumar has to offer. And then I've also seen 15-year-old junkers that didn't have door handles, that the windows didn't even work. Like I had to shove film in there, and they're getting like Stratus. They're getting like $600 Stratus jobs. So 4-door is a 4-door is a 4-door. It doesn't matter what it is. I charge more for the better quality film. That's pretty much it. Plus, I also explain to people that just because you're paying more doesn't mean you're paying for a better install. The install is the same, whether it's entry, mid, high level, high performance, whatever. You're paying for better film. My install is going to be the same, whether it's whichever brand it is, whichever level we're choosing. Just let them know that. I'm in North Carolina. Waste of money. It was a joke for those of you guys. Tropical Tinting, you're in Georgia, but Mike Powell actually lives in North Carolina, and I always joke about it that he's from Georgia. So that's why I'm laughing. How long should it take for a full car plus a windshield? If you're hand cutting, a full car is going to take me an hour and a half to 2 hours. Front windshield is going to take me about 45 minutes to an hour if I'm hand cutting. Plotter takes me about an hour and 15 and about 45 minutes. So it's probably shave off about 30 minutes to an hour if I'm using a plotter. But Anthony J, don't worry about time, baby. Don't worry. I don't care if that thing takes you 5 hours to do. If it's done right, then it's done right. That's a happy customer. It's better. People always ask me, they're like, I always say, do you want it done or do you want it done right now? Do you want it done right or do you want it done right now? Because right now, I'll give it to you right now. It'll be trash and dirt and crap and it bubbles, whatever. Or do you want it to do, if you want it right, go sit back down. Let me do my job. Go sit back down and I'm going to take care of you. So just take as long as it needs to get her done right. 2 hours, Anthony. Dang, Mike Powell with the 2 hours, sides and back. Dang, 2.5 to 3 for me, baby. That's what happens. But I don't hand cut. I don't hand cut. I use a plotter. I'm definitely slower because I mainly use a plotter. I can hand cut all day long, and I'd be faster at it if I hand cut it every day. But I don't. So, yeah. Screw the other groups. You're a window tinting motivational speaker. That's right, baby. There you go. I don't have a name. It's 1DR V1DR. I know you went over this Fusion Redline the other week. I wanted to ask. I had gotten one from when they first came out. The same issues were getting a nick in the edge. I feel like the nicks are from the top edge of the glass. Any pointers to stop this? Yeah, with anything, it's not a solid piece of material. It's not like a metal or anything like that. It is basically a rubber material, whether how hard or soft it is. So you're gonna get nicks in it, right? So if you're squeegeeing and you're slamming that puppy all the way to the end, boom, boom, then yeah, you're gonna get nicks in that thing. I've used the same red line for I think almost 2 months now, probably longer than I probably should. And I can get red lines all day long if I want to, but I just don't. I don't know. Because I use a tool until it's dead. And I'll use the Fusion red line, but I don't slam it to the end. I'll squeegee to the end and go a little slower. All you need to do is go past the film. You know, your film isn't touching the ends or isn't touching any of the pillars or anything like that, so you don't need to slam it. Just go a little slower. But if that's your thing, if speed is your thing and you gotta slam those edges to go faster, well then guess what? You're just gonna be buying more Fusion red lines. And if it's not Fusion red line, then it's a Blue Max. It is what it is. I'm not one for the other. I have my personal opinion on certain things and what I like to use. But if you like something different, that all the more power to you, baby. All the more power to you. Slow. Crybabies on Tint Dude like that. Oh, people still go on Tint Dude? No one goes on Tint Dude. You know who goes on Tint Dude? The old guys. The old guys. I remember when Tint Dude was a thing. It's no more. Sad times. Sad times. I cut, lick, and stick, Baby. There you go. Mike Powell blowing up the conversation here. It's okay. Florida is slower than Carolina tinters. Yeah, we can go slower because we can tint year round. How's that winter time tint, baby? Actually, you've been more busy than me. Actually, I know that, but it's still warmer here, huh? It was 75 yesterday. Get over it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and see here. I'm gonna do a quick reveal. Looks like we still got about 20 people or so. Not too shabby abby in the house. Let's give it about 5 more minutes. Get some last minute questions. Oh my God, it's 10:50. These live streams were supposed to be going an hour, and they've been going like an hour and a half. So, anyways, 5 more minutes. Let's go ahead and knock out a few more questions. If you guys have any questions, don't be shy. Get on that thing. Come on now. Start moving your little thumbs or typing on your keyboard and get some questions out here. I know everyone's got questions about window tint. Little Devil Rider. Copy that. Sliding across the top. Yeah, I mean, it could be from sliding across the top. If it is, maybe it's not for you, my friend. Maybe Blue Max it is. I mean, but I appreciate you trying it out, man. Everyone's got to try out the new stuff and see if it works for them. Of course. Little Devil Rider. Yes. Scud007 says, what's the Facebook group called again? It's called Window Tinting Business. It's on Facebook. Just look it up. I think it's you can even here. Let me see if I can give you guys the link here. Boom. There's a link there. Facebook groups. Let me see. Let me try this. Open link up. Oh, yeah, it works. There's the link to Window Tinting Business, guys, the Facebook page. Just go ahead and go there. It is a closed group. It's not a public group, so you're going to have to request it. And let's see. Got some people here. 2 people want to join the group. Aaron, Matthew, boom, approved, boom, yep. Yeah, this is a really great group here. One of our other admins, Robert's on here. Mike Powell, he's a moderator as well on here. So we got a really, really great group. So check them out. What's a Facebook? Oh, tint stuff. What's a Facebook? Also check out Tinternet. Tinternet's one of those other awesome groups out there that aren't like crappy and a waste of your time. So, or the Wild Wild West. I call it the Wild Wild West because it is. It is. Ooh, yes. Tint 2020, Tintech 2020. Bro. Let me see if I can find film and vinyl design. So I know that like Llumars like precision cut could get pretty expensive. It's like $250, $300 a month or something like that. But I have used this product right here, film and vinyl design. This is for you, tropical shade tinting. Let's get that out of the way here. Film and vinyl design. I've personally used this. I think they have PPF. It looks like they have PPF, but I just used them for their tinting here. I used them a couple years ago. I didn't have any problems with them. And then I figured out there is easier editing options as well, so that you can, like, okay, no plotter software is going to be perfect, right? So sometimes the window's a little bit bigger, or it's maybe a little short. Better bigger than short, right? Because you can always trim. It's like a haircut. You can take some more off, but you can't put some more on. But, like, let's say that something's obviously too short, then you can extend. There's editing tools where you can extend it there. So I have personally used this, and I didn't have a problem with it. I kind of liked it. So you could try that versus the Tinting 2020. I've heard people have nightmares about that program. Just being honest. Adrian Flores, do you recommend Llumar for more established shops? Yes. I would. Like, if I had cheddar, if I had deep pockets, yeah, because the film is a good film. They have good warranties. But you have to, but their film is almost twice as expensive as most other films. And, if you're going to spend, like, their CTX is $550 to $600 for a roll of film. That's for a ceramic film. I can get a ceramic film from Solar FX for like $300. So why spend $600 when I could spend $300? And and people are like, oh, well, they have great warranties, or they'll cover you if a warranty comes back. Well, if that's the case, and every time you buy a roll of ceramic that's $300, pay the $6, give yourself the $3, and if a car ever comes back with that, pay yourself out of that excess for the redo. You could do it that way. It's like insurance. You pay yourself versus paying them. In my opinion as well, you got to go over statistics, right? The average car owner owns their car for 7 years, just a little under 7 years. It's like 6 years, 9 months. That's actual statistics. So if your film can last at least 7 years, you're statistically in the good. You'll get certain people, and most cars are off the road and in a dump by, I think, 11 or 12 years, I believe. So by those statistics, it's very far and few between the guys are going to come in with the original film and be like, this is garbage, I need it redone. So you'll have that money set aside by the time that does come, to pay yourself out of that insurance money or that warranty money. But if not, you could just eat it every now and then, and you're still in the good. So I would offer it, just because it's the same thing like why people buy 3M film. 3M film is Suntech in a box. It is what it is. 3M hasn't made their own film since like the 90s or something like that, or the 80s. So if you guys are using Suntech, guess what? You're using 3M. But people don't buy 3M because it's phenomenal film. They buy 3M because it's a recognized brand. Same thing with Llumar. You can search, if you search online, one of the top hits is going to be Llumar. So people that go online and do research that are research heavy will go on and see which is the best top of the line films, and it'll be Llumar or 3M. It is what it is. They have deep pockets. It's kind of like Beats. Beats weren't really great headphones, but they dumped a crap load of money into advertising. So you saw Beats all over the place, and because you saw Beats all over the place, you're like, oh, they got to be good. Everyone has them. I got to get them. That doesn't mean they're great. That just means they're pretty good at advertising, right? So you got to look a little bit deeper. If I had the cheddar and if I had the pockets and it really wouldn't hurt me to add another line and I can afford it, yeah, I'd offer to Llumar just for those other people, just for a little bit, and then just really stick to to the 10% film cost, and you can make hand over fist. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm Aaron. I just added you, Aaron. Yeah, that's what's up. I told you I personally add everyone. If not me, then Robert or Mike. But yeah, welcome to the crew, my friend. Tintech has its issues. I've been frustrated with most softwares. TrueCut by Suntech has pretty good pattern software. Interface is a bit weird though. That Matt has spoken. Tintech has its issues. I've heard people say that too. Scud 007 with a $5 super chat. Definitely appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much. Okay, looks like we are past the 5-minute mark, so we have reached our time frame, guys. Thank you very much. I definitely appreciate it. I don't have any suggestions yet, but now that I have the community tab, I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff on the community tab also. So clearly you guys are subscribers, so make sure to hit that bell notification and make sure it's all on all so that you can see everything that I'm going to be doing as well. quick shout outs before we get out of here. Quick shout outs to obviously to our subscribers, our guys over at SoakShield, soakshield.com, the #1 original microfiber braided rope. Protect your butt. Get the microfiber braided rope from SoakShield, soakshield.com for more information. As well, as well, sponsored in part by CertifiedTinter.com, your premier online training center. It is going to be launching January 1st. That's our tentative time frame. Let's keep our fingers crossed because we want to make sure we launch perfect and right. We want to make sure everything's just good. So January 1st, make sure you keep your eyes on that as well. And don't forget to say hi to Matt. He's going to be in there as well. And last but not least, to you guys over here, let me see. Give big quick shout outs to the super chats of this live stream. Tropical Shade Tinting with the $20 super chat. Definitely appreciate that. Mike Powell with $19.99 super chat. Appreciate that, my friend. Appreciate that. And last but not least, Scud007 with the $5 super chat. Definitely appreciate that, guys. I don't have any topics coming up yet, but keep your eyes out. Keep your eye on the window tinting Facebook group, and then also on the channel as well. And Mike, I got a little something for you here, just to show it off. I've been cleaning it up a little bit because at the end of my live streams, I've been like, bye, click, done, right? But now I'm changing it up. I got a little something for you guys. I'll see y'all next week, Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, we'll talk soon.